But you know what, Qiana, though, for real though, I'm not even finna hold you. A lot of that is us. That's us. Like, for real. Look, we don't want to go to jury duty. We don't want to take the time.
Talk about it. We don't want to vote. We don't want to go to jury duty. None of that stuff.
We don't want
to do the census.
Anything that actually assists us and helps us and change, like makes things better, so that we don't have to just keep talking about change. Like we can really get it on and popping. So one of those things is I have a problem with is we don't do jury duty. We do any and everything possible to avoid jury duty. But when man gets locked up, we don't realize that we know man. We know him. So when they say that he did X, Y, and Z, we can sit there. They ain't gotta know that we know man. They don't have to know that. Right? Because all we need to know is man did or didn't do that. Make the appropriate decision because you know him and you have that power to change all 11 of the rest of those people. Like, yes, use your mind, use your thoughts, use your forward thinking, all the blessings that have been given to you. You need all of that in order to win this war. It's a real life war. It's been going on for centuries.
They got a Netflix show called The Innocence Project.
What you gonna do? What side you gonna end on? Like, you already know how we dogging people that aren't doing the right thing. We know that they haven't done the right thing. We know that their intents haven't even been good. And we're changing those things. So what part do you think we should all be playing in helping to make sure that our brown mamas, our black mamas are getting treated fairly? Well, first of all, before you answer that, Qiana, you know what? I'm very sorry that those things happened to both of you. Like, for real. I'm not lying. Now, here's the thing. I've been arrested a whole bunch of times as a juvenile, right? I got it. As an adult, just twice. No jail time. But both times, I did what they said that I did. So since I knew that I did what they said that I did, I just acted appropriately because I wasn't interested in lying because, I did that. Regardless that I had my reasons, but yes, I did it. So to know that you guys have been through things that you literally didn't do and you ain't have nothing to do with, or even that nobody considered the extenuating circumstances surrounding your situation, that's ridiculous. And I'm so sorry that happened to y'all. I'm so sorry that it's happened to anybody, right? Especially the brown woman, because once again, without us, nobody else exists. Point blank, period. Nobody else exists. So I'm sorry, and I hope that we could do whatever we need to do to try to get this situation corrected and remedied.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That question that you asked, Qiana, that's not a question I don't think she's gonna be able to answer. And I'm finna tell you that. I don't think she's gonna be able to answer that because the poison is so deep.
Thank you.
The poison is so
deep, sis.
It's not only the jail, it's the
you know what I mean? But you so focused on right and wrong, and that's the thing.
Sometimes it's jury.
Let me tell you, so focused on right and wrong, sis, because I know in a lot of the times, and back in the slavery days, they used the Christian religion to keep us in check. Oh, you better do, while they in the back doing all types of crazy foolishness, they use that 10 Commandments. You better do this is right. This is right.
I ain't a Christian.
You know, but I'm just saying they use that as a way of dogma, as a way of being able to control our mentality, to let us know what is right and what is not right, what's wrong.
Uniformed.
So going back to Christopher Columbus coming over here into this country and stealing it, and them saying it's okay, and then now you have that same situation happen now. Now it's a crime. So I just want to be talking about jury duty.
It ain't even possible.
Jury duty is very important. And I will say that we need to do our jury, but I would like to, I'm getting ready to start doing like some awareness or a campaign around juries, because we need to make our people aware and have them have some political education first before they go sit on a jury. Because I'm gonna be very honest with you, I don't want no middle-aged Black woman on my jury. I don't want a woman that I don't want, and I'm only saying that because I'm only saying, yes, clutch your pearls, sis. Clutch your pearls. We are so, yes, I'm saying we got a lot of trauma we got to work through first. You know, unfortunately, a Black woman could have a son or a baby daddy in the prison and then go sit on somebody in secret now because she ain't going to tell nobody.
Act like she above it. Act like she above it. That's exactly what they do.
Have a whole
thing.
I told you the middle-aged, the prosecution was a middle-aged Black woman. Okay, like I understand your job is to make sure that you try to, you know, prosecute and win, but if you don't actually, you wasn't there. Okay, you have other inmates that's coming out that's saying, yeah, I seen this police officer do this to this woman, and you still will go but so far as to belittle me, to call me a hoe and say I want to get a payday, a ho payday.
Let me tell you,
a Black woman told me that I ain't never been a hoe in my life.
But I mean, just in all fairness, has there ever been a woman in history that has been all about a payday?
That don't have nothing to do with me.
Has there though? Has there though?
That's my whole point.
That's
a projection. All Black women though.
That's a projection.
Has there though? Has there been?
Maybe.
Has there been?
Maybe, right? I don't know.
See, has there been and is there now? What we're doing is generalizing it. We're projecting the behaviors of somebody else and making it a projection of our own, of what we think our people are. And we have to be politically educated around what it is. We have to do that to each other first, because if not, I'm telling you right now, I don't want a middle-aged, I love Black people and I love middle-aged Black women, but I don't want a middle-aged Black woman to sit on any jury that I'm a part of a case of a Black person. I am so sorry.
Tell me why. Tell me why.
I'm telling you because and the prosecutors know it very well. Our oppressors know it. They know those key words, those triggers. They know those traumas that they can get to be able to get you to convict that person. So if you got a you got a white prosecutor, you got a middle-aged Black woman, you know what that white prosecutor got to say to that middle-aged Black woman to get her to start to look at her sister differently? She got on nice clothes. She got nice things. She didn't go to college like you went to college to get those nice things. You think she deserved those nice things?
Well,
how did she get those nice things?
Wait, what does that have to do with the charges, though? Hold on. I get what you're saying, but what does that have to do with the charge?
Unfortunately, it ain't about the charges, though. A lot of the time, sis, it ain't about the charges.
It's about how
it is not about the charges. It is about, at the end of the day, what the law is about is who can tell that story the best, the prosecution or the defense. And they rest their case, and that's it. That's all. And just please Google what I'm saying and have me come back for another time, because this is going to be it could be long. Like, Google what the law is and how it's about storytelling. Whoever tells the best story wins, period, and point blank. You can have your props and you can have your evidence to make the story shift any way you want it to shift. But let me tell you, if I'm a good enough lawyer and you got a prop over there that's going to help your case, as a lawyer, I'm going to get you to I'm going to try to hold that, I'm going to try to have that, suppress that piece of evidence so you can't use it to that jury. And that's all it's about.
You know what, I just thought about something. Something that you just said prompted me to say, how does one keep their faith when they know they didn't do what they said they did, and then they gotta get punished for it? Like, I cannot see myself giving my son a consequence for something that he didn't do. That's crazy. So how do you get to continue to have your faith?
You may not be a Christian, sis, and I'm not sitting here to talk about faith or religion. But I will say that it's a very, very famous story that people know about in the Bible of the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. And he went to and they said that he went to the cross and he hung on that cross, right? He hung on that cross for something he did not do. They persecuted him for something that he did not do. That, unfortunately, people want us to think that that don't happen, but that happens every day. Our country is built on that very same concept. So whereas, again, back to the law and order, back to the way justice, people think there's something called justice. It's not justice. It's just us. That's it.
I understand.
So,
I understand what you're saying, but it sounds almost like we're not supposed to take no accountability, though. We should.
Why do you take? How can you take accountability for something that you didn't do? Why would you take accountability for something that you didn't do?
Okay, and I guess it depends on what we're talking about that I did. How did I even get in it? It's too complicated for that, because in my mind, how did I get myself in a predicament to get even charged for something that I didn't do? And then we go back to the fact that all the laws, you just don't know what all the laws is, so you could be breaking laws and you don't even know that you breaking laws.
Ignorance to the law.
Not even that.
And then you can't even get to say, well, I didn't know that wasn't the law, so I broke it. They don't give a fuck about that. So I'm just trying to figure out, I'm solution based.
I had a
watch the Innocence Project on Netflix. Watch that, because it don't even have to be that. One of the cases was somebody just committed a crime in a white Bronco, and it had four suspects in it, and they all were black, and they all left this way. And then another guy with his girlfriend was coming that way with the same type of vehicle, but it was just only two of them inside of there. That man spent 28 years in jail. 28 years in jail for a crime he didn't commit, all because he was driving a car that was similar to another car that was committed in a crime. He didn't have nothing to do with it. That was the evidence. See? That was the evidence until they was able to get into the modern day and use DNA and all that good stuff. But before then, no. Girl, they met that man staying there for 28 years.
Listen, the people that did those things, you just gotta know that they evil at heart. Because even when you think those things through, that makes no sense whatsoever. I don't actually need any additional information. I'm just saying that those people that did those things, did they transfer that same information to the new folk? Because I'm good. Like, I'm good. And so we now need to be transferring our information to our babies to make sure that they can then build these structures to make sure that they don't end up in these cages that they built.
Structures, because you people have a tendency to individualize situations as actually a collective systematic system of capitalism, of white supremacy. It ain't got nothing to do with that one particular person in that Bronco. It is the fact that a person can come in and go into some place called a grand jury. Do you know what a grand jury is? It's a secret operation. There's nothing transparent about a grand jury at all. And they go into this grand jury. Most of the time, the grand juries have most KKK members sit on the grand jury. You got retired military, retired judges who done did their dirt on the bench. Now they're gonna sit down and do it in secret. So like, what I would really encourage folks to do is to sit down and to learn how this criminal legal system involves and how it operates. Because a lot of the things that you wouldn't allow out on the street to happen to you happens to you in the court. There ain't nothing you can do about it. Ain't nothing you can do about it.
So what it sounds like to me, it would behoove a lot of us to get some lawyer friends.
I'm studying law right now. I don't know if I'll make it all the way to the bar, but I am studying law now because I had a prosecutor tell me that ignorance to the law is no exception for it. So I took that to heart.
That's true, though,
and it's very true. And this country is very true. But they don't have legal classes, but they got a whole bunch of math classes and a whole bunch of history classes, which is great. But the history that they teach us ain't our history. The history that they teach us in our school ain't our history, so they make you sit there and do all these history classes, when in actuality, we need to be having some legal law classes 101, so that my black son knows that if he gets in the car with another young black boy and he has a gun in the car, or if he gets into his car and
it shouldn't just be my responsibility to tell him that, because I ain't locking my own son up, point blank. I'm not doing that. You're doing that, so you should make it so. That's a good point. Let me put that on the list for the Secretary of Education, because I got this whole list going, child, of all these things that need to be addressed, because these things need to be addressed on a federal level. It has not, like, you can't do, but so it's so funny. The most important races are local, right? Because they the ones that affect you the most. But they are the ones that we totally ignore the fuck out of. And we go straight to the other races. And them people don't be giving a fuck about us because they on a different level, right? They on a different level completely. So I don't really know why we do that. I wish we wouldn't, but that's something that needs to change on a federal level for sure. I think that would be good, because how do you, I don't think it's, number one, it's not fair for me to be accountable for something that I literally didn't know wasn't right. Some things are basically, and that's my thing. If it was just about you doing good or bad to a person, like that should be the only real live law. Like for real. Long as, listen, if you didn't do anything to physically harm somebody else, you good. That's it. Like that's it. Like you don't get to do those things and it be okay. Somebody gonna have to get some repercussions somewhere along.
That sounds like what you were saying too when we were talking about yesterday or 2 days ago about the teachers that did the stuff. Falsified the test scores, but then they got RICO charges.
Qiana, have you heard about that? It's called, first of all, I can't remember what the name of it was, but let me tell you what the premise is. These 12 educators that live in Georgia were charged federally. They were facing 30 to 40 years for RICO charges for test scandal for Black kids in the Black community.
I didn't hear about that. I got send me the link. I gotta look that up. How long ago was that?
When I tell you that hurt my heart so bad, let me first of all, what was I listening to, Lena?
T.I.
Yeah. Okay. So Expeditiously, T.I. had a show, and I'm trying to get it on my phone right now. Somebody calling me that I don't, whatever. So the episode, I want to say is something. Okay, have you heard about the Atlanta child murders? Well, it's something. Anyways, that's another thing too. Listen, Georgia got a lot going on. Like some things that went down there, and the people that's currently in Georgia, they say we're not dealing with this no more. But anyway, the educators, yes, child. The educators were a part of this testing scandal, and 12 of them ended up going to actual trial in court. And on the show, one of them stated that she spent time in jail on RICO charges. We talking about an educator. What the fuck is wrong that an educator would ever be in that predicament? You see, that shit don't even make no kind of sense.
Explaining to me, that makes sense. I'm like, so you telling me I get, okay, so maybe, she messed up some tests, and maybe them kids.
No, boo, she didn't mess up no tests. No, boo, she did.
I'm trying to rash. I'm like, okay, so maybe the kid went on to college and they wasn't supposed
no,
to.
Boo,
Don't try to rationalize this foolishness.
Let me tell you. Maybe she put some marijuana on the book.
No, let me tell you.
How you get educated?
RICO charges.
Educated on RICO charges. No
murder.
No drugs.
RICO is what they charge most gang members with. It stands for Racketeer, Influence, and Corrupt Organized Act. That is what RICO stands for, and that's what makes it a federal versus a state charge, right? So let's be clear. Those are the charges that they are used as sort of like a gang enhancement when they want to take an individual from the state level straight to the federal level.
Yeah.
So what they did was use that as a vehicle to take these 12 Black educators out is what they did. And that's how they use the law. People think that the law is here to protect us and keep us safe. It ain't here to do that.
And let me tell you what else.
Not when you this color.
Let me tell you about the tomfoolery though. One of the ladies, right? Check this out. She was in charge of principals, right? And then the principals are in charge of the teachers. 3 teachers got caught cheating, right? None of the principals in her jurisdiction, yet she still got found guilty with the RICO charge. Are you kidding me? Like, that's ridiculous. And so now, and then in addition to this, let me tell you how cute the other people was trying to, fuck them over. They said that they were harming children. That's part of the reason. I get it, right? I got you. But this is where you fucked yourself. You asked those same, you told those same educators that a part of their sentencing is to do what? Tutor kids.
What?
That came out her mouth, not mine. Her mouth. She said that it was her situation. I ain't make that shit up. She said that. So I'm just trying to figure out, if you saying that these people were harming kids, why in the whole fuck would you then say, go and tutor these kids too? Meanwhile, do it for free because we done already charged you with all these things and you ain't credible as an educator no more. But go ahead and teach them anyway.
Let me tell you, it's a way to, and that example, they did a lot to the Black community by breaking it down. That example now let Black women who might want to educate, let them know that it's now a pipeline from being an educator to prison. That's exactly what that did. So it also puts a fear, just like the young lady in Texas who went out and voted while she was on parole, and because she didn't know, she didn't think that she would. First of all, why would you let me do it if I couldn't do it?
Right.
It's kind of like entrapment. So she thought that they let her register. They didn't say, ma'am, you registered to vote. Please beware. If you're gonna go to jail. She had no clue. So she went and she voted. You know, they said, oh, we're gonna make an example out of this Black woman. Let me know anybody in Texas, if y'all on parole, don't y'all go vote. You know, that's what that does to us. That's what it does to our psyche. That is what those type of cases are intended to do.
That's what they've been doing.
But you had the women, the white women, and I forgot the name of the lady I think the lady from Full House, her kids, that she had that scandal of getting her kids into Ivy League school.
Yep.
I mean, so let's go back to what.
But look, here's the thing. First of all, remember, Lena, I just feel like, why did you think your babies, if they don't deserve it, if they deserved it, they would get in. You don't have to give no extra money up. Like, that's not how that works. So
if they deserve it, they deserve it.
If they deserve it, they deserve it.
But look at the treatment.
You don't get to pay your way in, boo.
Look at the treatment.
You don't get to do that.
She got 14 days in prison, and look at the treatment. But then you had a Black woman in a state that used a different address. I forgot what state it was, and they used a different address for her child to be able to go.
Did you say she only got 14 days?
14 days.
10 days. Yeah.
For bribery?
Yes. 14 days is what she served. She served her time proudly, and now she did her 14 days. Yes, that's what she got. So let's be clear.
That was months ago too. Yeah.
So I ain't gonna lie. Look, I ain't gonna lie. I thought them hoes was locked up. I'm not.
No, 14 days.
Because in my mind, there's no way you let these hoes out after they did some shit like this. Like, for real, in my mind, because if you got Tamika in jail because she was running the trap house and she a manager, then you should kind of let her out too, because she could just go manage another store. Because if she managed the trap house and you caught her and that's the only reason why she in jail, is because you said she wasn't supposed to be doing these things. But she was effective at doing her job.
Yep.
You might as well let Tamika out so she can create a business and she can run her own shit and be self-sufficient, because you done let this hoe out in 14 days. That ain't right.
Yeah.
But you had a woman who decided that she wanted to send her son to a better school, so she used her auntie address, not somebody address that she stole, not somebody address that she racketeered, not somebody address that she made up, but her auntie who lived in a better school district, and our parents been doing that for years. Let's be clear. Our parents have been doing that I'm 39 years old, and I can tell you right now, there's been a couple of schools that I went to, right? Because my mama wanted to make sure
absolutely. Everybody does that.
And I will go to my grandma's house during the week, and I will go home on the weekends. Let's be clear.
Absolutely.
So you had a Black woman that do that. Now today, in today's day and age, as we are criminalizing the Black mother, we criminalizing the Black woman. Now we're gonna say, oh, it's been against the law. But when did they start enforcing it and making it a 5-year sentence when a woman did it? When they wanted to
Black woman did it.
When a Black woman did it.
No, when they wanted to stop. No, see, Black women been doing it. Black women been doing it. Black women been.
When it was deemed inappropriate for
Black women been doing sex work.
But we
black women been using address changes.
No career again. There's no career that you can say exists that a black woman ain't been a part of. Like, it don't work that way because we created this whole shit. So since we created this whole shit, we responsible for all of that stuff. So there's nothing that you or anybody else can name that we haven't been a part of, that we haven't done for me. And I get what you're saying now.
But the criminalization,
problematic.
But back to the criminalization of behaviors that we talked about before and connecting those two. Yes, black women have been doing these for years. Black women have been using people's address for years. Black women have been putting a little bit of Dynatap in their baby little juice and when they want, they've been doing these type of things for years. They've been doing sex works for years. They've been doing these things for years. But the criminalization comes when we start having task force. When we start having, we start having people sit down and think about ways that they are going to now exploit the things that black women have been doing for years to start to separate them from their families.
Well, yeah.
Because they wasn't no task force.
Well, I think that started with the man,
didn't have a spot to go into the school. Little Billy, I think this became a major issue when little Billy or little Ethan didn't have a spot to go in that particular school. That's probably what the issue is. When the spots become filled, they want to get these spots open.
They try to figure,
and they want to do a test. They want to
she still live with her grandma throughout the week. She live with her grandma throughout the week. That don't change. You don't get to say
right.
That's illegal. You can't get to tell me who the fuck my kid can go live with. You don't get to do that. That ain't your job. Mind your fucking business. You don't get to tell me who my child can live with. I don't care if Billy do have a seat or a desk, okay?
Billy needs a seat, okay?
It looks, listen, no, let me tell you, somebody else did some incorrect math. They should have known that my baby lived with her grandmother, okay? And they should have also known that Ethan was moving to this district because my daughter was already going to her grandmother's house, okay?
Well,
I went to my great-grandmother's house, and that same house always been the same house, boo. So
that's how you
well, little Susie needs a goddamn seat today. And she wants to see today. And
it ain't my fault that y'all can't do basic math in your school district for you to know that it was going to be another child. So you might as well pull him another desk. Because again, my child going here because she stay with my mama throughout the week. You can't tell me where my kids can stay. And you can't tell me how my family is designed. So therefore, go on about your business. You don't get to send nobody to jail for having their kids live somewhere else throughout the week.
Or send them in jail because their kid that missed maybe 3 or 4 years 3 or 4 days out the whole school year.
Yeah, no, let me tell you something. You should have sent me to jail then, because I'm gonna tell you that's a real story for me. My oldest son was going to school. I did not know he wasn't really going to school. Do you think they gave me notification to say, hey, boo, your baby ain't going to school? No, they didn't. They let that brown boy keep right on not going to school. And then when some shit the fan, he ended up having to switch school districts. And they say that grade he couldn't move to the grade level that he was supposed to be in. He might not was going to graduate. And that was just based on attendance. They had shit to do with grades. That's because the nigga wasn't there.
Well, now they sending out letters to, I know from my jailer school, if your child like miss 1 or 2 days, truancy letter and at this many times, we'll send you to CPS. The CPS gonna have to come to your door and check it out.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna tell you this, and Qiana said something very interesting, and I really don't know how this works out in my favor, but I'm gonna tell you this. If them people come knocking on my door because my son missed a couple of days or whatever have you, they can go ahead and do that. But I tell you what, they better be able to provide a good living for him, because if you think you finna send me to jail,
they gonna put him in that system.
At some point,
They're gonna put them in another pipeline because they got two now. They got the mama and the son. So they could take the mama away that separate her from her son, and then turn around and put him in a foster care system and fuck his life up, and then turn around, he gonna go get charges and he gonna try to sell drugs because his mama locked up. That is what separating the black woman out of the community is designed to do, and they're doing a damn good job at it because since 1980, the incarceration of black women has risen by 700%. Let's be clear.
See, Qiana just spoiled my plan already. Now I got to think of a new process because all that sounds like that's very well possible. I can literally conceptualize and see some events that took place like that for some of my peers. I can do that. I can literally do that. And so we need to cut them pipelines off, like for real, for real. And I think that education is one of those things. And the laws, not knowing laws, if you live in a particular state, you got to have jurisdiction over that state. So that means it got to be some state laws. Federal laws should be all across the board. And we should be learning this shit as we're younger. If you want us to know it when we grown, right? Like, if you really have our best interest at heart, if you really don't want us to go to jail and do your labor for free, if you really don't want us to do those things.
Free labor.
Free labor.
Why would they want you to do free labor?
The black woman, we can iron some clothes and we can raise some babies. We was breastfeeding their babies.
Yep.
We was breastfeeding from our lawns.
And black men building up their roads and they railroad tracks and shit.
They can't do what we do. So when they took it away from us from slavery, what they did is they turned around and they put in an amendment to that. And they said, except for by punishment through being incarcerated. So if all the black men, all the good black men are in jail, it's time to put some goddamn black women there. And that's exactly what they did because they know we do it good. We do a damn good job when we do something.
We do. And you know what? And that's why, here's the solution.
I can search the web for that. Just tap the search chip.
Look at Google listening to me. I ain't talking to Google.
I'm searching the web for advocates.
Yeah, I mean, you know, so instead of letting those pipelines stay there, all we got to do is get back to all of the things that we did to make us great to get here in the first place, because they took us from somewhere in order to bring us here to build their shit up. I think we did that pretty good. I think we've done a pretty amazing job at that. I think somewhere along the line, we thought we were going to get equality and we thought we was a part of the process. Okay, fine. We got confused. They said some words we didn't quite understand. We got it bamboozled. No worries. We here now. Let's fix it. Right? So now we at a space where we fixing it. First of all, we need to stop these pipelines. Sounds like they creating them more and more.
I mean, for real, they really
create them faster than we can knock them down.
Right.
So what are the older ones that we need to be more cognizant of and make better decisions surrounding it, or get more education to make sure that we cut that pipeline off right there?
So we hit most of the main ones: school to prison, CPS, you know, just criminalization of behaviors, period. You just got to pay attention and go deeper, because I think that the misconfusion and the misconception is that a crime is a crime. What is a crime? There's hurts and there's
somebody
harms.
Had to.
And there's hurts and there's harms. And I do not say that there should be hurts and harms that happen without some level of accountability. That is not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that there's a restorative process, and I can't even name all the pipelines because they happening too quickly, like you said, but I will say that if we're talking about making something whole and restoring, and we're talking about a harm, first we have to identify what the harm was caused. If a black sister changed her address and let her child go to school and you put her in jail for 5 years, that don't even make sense. What was the harm that she did what harm was caused? What harm was caused? Being able to identify the harm. Now, somebody murders somebody, right? There's a level of, you have a loss of life. There is a traumatic experience and a loss of life that has happened. And there's absolute triggers and trauma and harm that needs to be addressed there. But let me tell you something. You snatch that person up and you put them in prison, there's no rehabilitation there.
Yeah.
It's a cage. You know what I'm saying? What's the likelihood of that person going to jail and you going to jail and you becoming worse when you come out? Yeah. So even in the instant, because you have levels of harm, you can go to jail for murder and you can go to jail for stealing a goddamn candy bar. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. So when we have to identify those different matrix of what is the level of harm here and how do we address the harm without directly, punitively punishing and harming the person and creating more harm? Is our solution to the problem going to cause more harm? And nobody is looking at that. Prosecutors are not looking at that. Judges are not looking at that. Nobody is looking at that when they hand out these football number sentences for stuff to sentence people to prison with this false narrative that people are going to come out whole.
Rehabilitated.
And so, no, it's not. It's a prison industrial complex that we have where people are going into prison because it makes them money. It ain't got nothing to do with the harm that they cause you. So, like, an example is somebody stole money from you and you go marching down. I'm going to call the police. I'm going to call, but black women love to do that. I'm going to call the police. I'm going to call the police. You stole my money. When the police get there and they put that person that stole your money in handcuffs, that person gonna get a bond. That person bond get paid to the state. It don't come to the money. The money don't come back to you, sis, that stole that money from you. So what you're saying is, I want you to lock this person up and put them in a cage and treat them less than human, because I know anything that you're gonna do to them is not gonna rehabilitate them or make me whole again. And so that's what I need people to understand, is that do away with the word crime in your mind. That's something that the system, people with power, has made up.
That's a mindset, because who decided what is a crime? That starts with me. Who was the person that said this particular thing right here is a crime?
The people with power.
Right.
The people with power. No, we have harms and we have people that cause harm. And there's different reasons why people, sis, I could have stole that money from you because my rent was due. I could have stole that money from you because
I was hungry.
I was hungry because food and housing is not free. So now I'm in a situation where I have to find Pampers for my child. Our desperate people do desperate things. Hurt people do hurt things. We are living in a society that is hurt and desperate. So you're going to see a rise in quote unquote crime. Yeah. Because we are living in a world where we are hurting, we are harmed, and we are lack of resources. Yep. You're going to see people stealing. You're going to see people selling drugs. You're going to see these things because I want what you got. I want to be able to ride around in a car. I want to go to bed at night in a warm house that has heat at nighttime in 30 below weather. I want to be able to sleep turn my AC on when it's 99 degrees outside. But I can't do that. So now I got to cause harm in order to get what it is that I need.
In order to get the necessities.
The necessities. So I want people, look at the criminal system, look at the criminal legal system, start to look at, just identify it. Whenever you see somebody commit harm, try to trace that crime, quote unquote crime, that harm down to the root cause. When you simplify a fraction, you simplify that fraction to the simplest form. Get down to that root cause and see what it is.
Once we get to that root cause, then will we take it to?
Then that's when you ask, what can we do? You said you're a solution-based system, and I am as well. And that's the reason why I don't just talk about that. That is the reason why Life After Release exists. That is the reason why, we are getting together mutual aid stuff so we can get to people, because I believe that if I get you groceries today, you may not hit somebody over the head tomorrow. And so, so that's why I'm doing something about it. I'm not just saying, oh, girl, did you see what he did? You see what they did? Girl, I'm not just texting. I'm not just tweeting.
We're not just reposting it.
I'm just not reposting. I'm just not having long Facebook. I'm not just doing those things. I am actually putting myself in a position where I can now get my community to come together. And I'm not a charity organization. It may be charitable, but I'm not a charity organization. I don't believe any of the people that come to me are charity. I believe that we have people that are in need, that are have a mutual exchange of things that I can help you and you can help me. I may be able to help you get some groceries, but then you can turn around next week when we go down and we educating people on how to vote, sis. I need you to come down here and knock on some doors with me so that we can educate our community on how we need to vote, so that next time we can have food for free. That's what mutual exchange looks like. You can't just take. That's why the welfare system is so harmful. Mm-hmm. You just can't take. And you're not mutually giving back. That's why. That's
why to give back, though. Honestly, and it's not even your fault. It's not even your fault. You don't even know how to give back because it's always been given. So you've never been placed in a position where you need to give back, or you have the desire to give back, or you want to give back. So that makes complete sense. I want to know about the part of your program that is youth related, or are you even interested in a portion that is youth related?
Oh yes, I am doing youth. My two sons, I have two African American sons that are growing up in this world, and I would be amiss not to have a youth operation. So we do have a youth operation. It's called YAG, and our youth operation is where, you know, I try to let them lead themselves and be leaderful. I try not to make a lot of decisions for them. You know, I said he'd like to ride dirt bikes and things of that nature. So they may be looking into trying to pass a law around getting some type of designated day or something for the dirt bike riders to be able to ride in peace, and so that they can clear and make way for these and make them safe in doing something that they love to do. Because it's not illegal for them to buy a dirt bike. It ain't illegal for them to buy a dirt bike, but it's illegal for them to ride it. In the same county, so you can, there's different, in Prince George's County particularly, I know.
Does that sound like entrapment?
It ain't illegal for you to buy it, you just can't ride it. And if you can ride it, then you have to, if you can ride it, then you have to have privilege enough to have a truck, to be able to load it onto that truck, to take it into the, you know, take it to 2 counties down.
Into the woods. Yeah.
Oh, because it's a certain area designed for that. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know. I thought it was the cutest little thing. Now I don't know, because somebody might be. Anyway, I saw a church that has a real big parking lot. And the dirt bike boys was in the church. They was just in the church parking lot. They was having fun, honey. And I was like, that's what's up. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, that's what's up to the church. Because the dirt bike boys, sometimes they do get on my nerves when I'm trying to drive. I ain't gonna lie. And they might not even be your son, because let's be clear. Everybody that have a dirt bike is not utilizing it correctly. That's it. So they were in the parking lot, and the person at the church was there. So they knew that they was there. And I just thought it was nice that they provided.
Allowed them to have
in my mind, of course, I'm always think the positive. So in my mind, they knew that they didn't want them on the street. They wanted them to be in that parking lot. So they let them come to that parking lot. The boys take it up. They mesh well together. And also in my mind, one of the boys probably already go to the church. So, you know.
And that's what the church should be here to do. I live deep in the woods down in Brandywine, but you know, I'm deep in the woods. But you know, there are people who want to be able to do that. That's the way we should be looking out for community. When you say, what is it that I can do? Use what it is that you already have and try to find a way to articulate that into the community. And that's a mutual benefit to, you know, to other people. You know what I'm saying? We just can't take. We got to say, hey, look, sis, I got, you know, I could do math really well. I could tutor the kids in the evening time. Thank you for this food. You know, but I could do some math. You know, I could read really well. You know, thank you for giving me this food. But could I come to your office and tutor some children? You know, we got to start thinking about, because back in the day, you know, back when they were fighting and when Martin Luther King was organizing, you know, that's what they did. The church was providing meals for folks while they were staying up late. They was organizing things. They was doing things. They were in community. We are not in community. They have taught us to mind our business. Don't say nothing. They ain't got nothing to do with you.
Every man for themselves.
Every man for themselves. So we have gotten away from what community really looks and feels like.
Well, I definitely agree with you on that aspect, because I am definitely.
And we've been talking about that for the past 3 months, at least getting the community together, do something community. Like, we've literally been pushing and saying this for months. Like, literally, we have to get back to being a community, being as one. When one thing happens to one person, then it happens to everybody, no matter where you live. Even with the situation with the what is the man named Anthony that was just killed by the two
I think it's
white men.
Yes, that just because it happened. Where was he at? In Georgia? Where was he at? Just
Georgia.
Because you know, that threat to that black man is a threat to every black man everywhere, and we have to look at it like that. You can't just say, "Oh, that ain't got nothing to do with me." That's all the way out there in Georgia.
And
you
black
know,
women, to be honest, because he was just exercising. A black woman could be running in the neighborhood exercising.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't even exercise while black.
Nope.
It's a crime to do that too. God, to be more careful. No, seriously,
you just gotta sit in the house. You just gotta sit in the house.
First, it was an issue that we got diabetes and blood pressure. We obese. Then we going outside trying to exercise. God damn. I mean, it's a lose-lose situation. We in a world where we fucking in a lose-lose situation.
Yeah.
You're going to die if you sit in the house and mind your fucking business from diabetes and this, that, and the third. You're going to die if you go outside and just still mind your business but trying to lose weight. I mean, come on. Really?
Let's be clear.
And 2020, you can't exercise. You can't run in the neighborhood. You can't mind your own business.
Can't drive your car.
People to repost, to make threats, and to do all these things for these people. I mean, for the cops to come get these two white men.
I mean, let's be clear. And I'm, back to the whole. They get them. They charge them. But like
now,
but that's just the charge. That's just the charge. Let's not be satisfied with that. And then, like you said, you thought those women were locked up still. They only got 14 days. That's what they want you to do. See,
I thought they was locked up.
See, they believe that, okay, yeah, they all hot about it now. Then let's just go charge them.
Right.
You don't know. Let's go charge them. You don't know if they on home detention. You don't know if they be, you don't know what, just charge them. That they are be good enough with that. There's no real accountability in just charging them.
They're not gonna make sure that they actually see the plan through. They're not gonna make sure that we see them in jail or all them good.
We have a false hope of what conviction
somebody is. It just depends on the people that's close to the victim. They're gonna stay on it. The people that actually love the victim, they're gonna stay on it. And the people that love the people that love around them. It'll keep happening. It just takes time and it's a long process because I think that it's a situation where it's though I do expect accountability and I do want us to know that we are accountable for our own actions. And I don't want it to be like I don't understand why we make some of the decisions that we make. Mm-hmm. Because I do know that we make some of those decisions based on previous information, based on previous activity, based on historical references, based on history, period. I know that some of the things that we do, we think that it makes more sense even if it doesn't, even if it is a right or wrong. There's a reason, a legitimate reason that had you not put me in this predicament, I would have did something different. Had you given me other choices, I would have done something different. And so now putting children back into a place where, like Miss Qiana just said, like we shutting down them pipelines, right? We already have women that are already incarcerated. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I feel bad for a whole bunch of my sisters that are in jail and all they were doing were managers. They were fucking amazing at managing places and they done. I feel bad about a whole bunch of my brothers that's behind bars when all they were great scientists and excellent chemists, period. Had you given them other opportunities, I know that they would have made other choices, right? And I think that a lot of times when I'm speaking, no, but hold on. I think a lot of times when I'm speaking, though, I don't think it gives the impression that I know those things. I don't think it gives the impression that I have compassion for them. I also don't think it gives the impression that I'm for my people. Sometimes I listen to myself and I say, now what, girl? And it's not just that. It's more so like it's a mixture of the two. And because I can't really do anything about grown-ups, I think that's what it is. In my mind, grown-ups make their own decisions because you know history. You know what has happened.
Do you though?
And if you don't want to, I don't know one brown person that know about slavery. Now, whether or not you want to get involved to learn more as an adult, we're not talking about kids, we still talking about adults. That's your choice, right? I ain't here to debate that with you. But if you want to know more about it and you want to change your way of thinking and you want to know what all these people are so angry and upset about, there's information available for you to do that. So I don't really, grown-ups, not so much. That's just not my forte. Children, though, the youth, they don't, we are responsible for that. So once we learn information, we have to give it to them because I only think about the fact that I was a troubled youth, of course, but the people that gave me the information like Tony Browder and learning about history and learning about slavery and learning about everybody wasn't necessarily a down and out bad slave, and learning about those transitions and learning about all those things when I was younger gave me an ability to move through life as I moved through life. But here's what happened, Miss Qiana. I lost all that, right? And I threw myself in corporate America, and I thought them good folk was gonna take care of me, right? Because how could they not? You know, y'all done done me wrong. Y'all finna take care of me, and everything gonna be Gucci, right? That ain't quite what happened. So what I want to make sure our babies know and have is that back foundation. We already know about the war on drugs. We know that war is still happening today. But what about the war on the mindset? What about all the shit that they taught us? Because they taught us, right? We had to learn, and we had no other way of learning because they took all of our people and our culture and our history from us, and those people actually are dead. So they didn't provide the information on and on, generation to generation, as your counterparts were able to do,
right?
Because nobody wasn't trying to kill them. You know what I'm saying? So since nobody was trying to kill them, y'all were able to continue to provide this information on and on. And we didn't have that opportunity. And now I think that now is an opportunity to be able to continue to provide that information on and on. And it shouldn't be an option. It should be mandatory, because it actually happened. It all took place. And this is all real data and scientific information that we can report back to. So our babies are the most important things.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
What do you think we could do in reference to our babies, our moms that are arrested? I'm sorry, not you, Lena. This ain't got nothing to do with you. This ain't your job. Miss Qiana. I said Lena, but I meant to say Miss Qiana. Miss Qiana, in assisting you with life after life, is that what the name of it is?
Life after release.
Life after release. Life after release. And so that the Shee DC Morning Show can assist you with your passion. How can we help our babies that have mamas behind jails, behind bars?
So first and foremost, Mother's Day is coming up on the 10th, and that could be triggering for some folks. But Free Black Mamas DMV, Life After Release, is a part of coalition of Free Black Mamas DMV, who was actually put together by a vision from Mary Hooks, who started bailing out Black mamas, caregivers, and community members in the community, to get them home from jail. So first and foremost, if anybody would like to particularly, we only got one more day that we're going to try to find somebody to bond out, but it's been hard because they've been holding our Black sisters without bond now. So we've been looking, and we can't find mamas to bail out because they're holding them without bonds for things like assault, second-degree assault, and things like that. And they're holding them in cages without bond. But we are looking, and so if also you can donate to that.
Do you have like a website where they actually can do monetary?
Yes, you can go to Free Black Mamas, freeblackmamasdmv.com, and you can donate directly at that website. And you can just look for the hashtag Free Black Mamas DMV, and you will see a lot of our, if you follow that social media hashtag, you'll be able to find out different ways that you can donate through that. If you were looking to like really just get a part of the youth, like, my organization is very community based. If you say, hey sis, I'm really, really good with the kids, and I just want to, like I said, do some tutoring. It ain't always got to be about the money. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Yeah. It always got, that's the first thing we think. And then that's the trick of the mind, because, I don't really even want to take a whole bunch of money from my Black people, right? Let some white folks play some reparations to us. If you have a good skill, you good with the kids, you can come. I got a whole office space and on off road. If you want to be able to come by and say, I could do a really good program with the kids, or I can, take a group of kids to Six Flags one day, of women who are incarcerated. It could look like anything. It ain't always got to be about money. You know what I'm saying? It could be, you got a band and you just want to take a group of young girls ages 10 to 16 whose mothers are incarcerated to a movie. And I would say, I would get on the phone and I would call up the mothers that I know or that are incarcerated, and I would get those kids together, and we'll be able to do that. Take them to brunch, any of those things. Like, let's start to think outside the box of the ways that we could be mutual in this situation of helping our people. Because most people fall into the trick of, I ain't got no money, or I don't want to get to that. Or most people think that they give you a couple of dollars, they own you. You ain't got to give me no money, honey. You ain't got to give me no money. You can,
$20.
you give me that $20, you want to own me for the rest of your life, honey. So what I'm asking you is dig deep into your pocket of how of what you can do in order to help our children in other ways. You know what I'm saying? You can want to come by our office and drop off some diapers because you don't want your money out your pocket. You want to make sure your money going to the right things and all this other type of things. Drop off or donate some canned goods. We always
donate some coupons.
Well, Miss Qiana, I'm gonna let you know right now, Miss Qiana, I am here and ready to assist you with your baby girls, your youth girls. I would love to come and talk to them and assist them in walking through life, whatever that means within the most positive way. So please keep me in mind for that. Definitely, because there are youth girls that are behind bars, and
increasingly more and more. Increasingly more and more.
Yeah, youth jails are a real thing. I spent a great amount of time in them, you know what I mean? So, but because I got that information though, it stuck with me and I learned it and I used it. And whereas though my environment was my environment, I wasn't able to fall into a lot of what was going on in my environment because those people ministered to me when I was in those situations. And I use the word minister real lightly because the way them ladies was talking to me may not have been considered ministering, but they was Black woman loving up on me, okay? And they gave me a whole bunch of information that I needed, and I would like to do that for my youth as well, because we don't know which direction might go. We don't know who might get caught up in what, because somebody don't understand our circumstances that they created for us. But nonetheless, if you don't understand, you don't understand. But I'm excited.
I want to just take the time and just acknowledge all the wonderful stories that we've had as far as our journey, and the fact that we can sit right here right now and not look like our experience. Not look like what we've gone through, and not to carry that burden on our face. Because throughout this whole conversation, we've all brought up points where we have been imprisoned or been held down by the system in some shape, form, or fashion. And I'm just I'm just happy that we are all able to hear this, spread this message, and to be able to talk about our journey and to be lighthearted about it, and not to, of course you're gonna feel some emotion and feel some. For me, I do still feel some resentment, especially for my situation, because I had nothing to do with any of the circumstances that went around. So yeah, I still do feel resentment, somewhat, but not as much. But I'm just happy that I just came out on the right side. I didn't commit suicide because of the struggles I was going through. I didn't post harm to somebody else because of the struggles I was going through. I didn't become a drug addict, or I didn't let it overtake my whole life. You didn't let it take it over your whole life. You didn't let it take it over your whole life. So it's just like, I'm just grateful that we're able to convey our message. Honestly, I just really am. I'm just glad that we were able to come together today and just give out our journeys and give out information and just have this conversation. I don't really see too many people having this in-depth conversation about the prison systems, about court. Like you said, everybody thinks it's Law and Order, CSI. All these the courthouse things, and it's not. It's nowhere near it. It's not.
Look,
not at all.
Let me tell you, 2, maybe 3 hours in the Upper Marlboro County Courthouse. It ain't like Orange is the New Black either. I just want to let you know that, and I wasn't even there long. So the fact that there are real, not just people, period, right? Of course, it's unfortunate for people, period. But my heart really, you a mom, though. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't intentionally set out. And I think that's what a lot of it is too, right?
Yeah.
Like, did you intentionally set out to set harm to somebody, and I don't feel like you did that. You know what I mean? I feel like you were working within the means that were provided to you, period. Whatever those means are, because that's it. So for you to have babies out here and parents not growing up with their children and their children not growing up with their parents, and for us to not actually think that that is a part of the actual conception of how this shit actually works, and we're not paying attention to it, that makes no sense. Breaking up families willingly and unwillingly, okay? So when you're doing that, you are allowing the circles to continue to move, but we don't have to do that. Literally, we don't have to do that, because we could grab our babies by the hands and be like, hey, look, we done learned a few things, and now let me tell you what these things are, so that you too may operate with all the information like some of your other counterparts get to do. They get to operate and walk through the world with all of the information comprised in one place. Let's do that for our babies. Let's do that for our boys. Let's do that for our girls. And we're going to always keep on winning. Point blank period.
Okay, where can the people find you or donate to you or read more about your movement? Let the people know.
Yes, go to my website, lifeafterrelease.org. You can, if you want mutual aid, you can call us at 240-200-4472. Or if you want to send us an email, you can email me personally at Qiana@lifeafterrelease.org. And, you know, we just continue. We're everywhere. Our offices, we have an brick and mortar location at 4710 Off Place. Oh, that's over there in Camp Springs, Maryland. Yeah. And, you know, we're just available. You know, we're available whenever you need us.
And what about the merchandise, your shirt? Are you selling that for the people?
Oh, so yeah. So,
yeah, that's kind of hot that we're not reading it backwards. I don't know how you manage that.
Yeah, so my shirt today said, you get this shirt for free if you actually come into our court watch training, and it says injustice happens in courtrooms, empty courtrooms all the time, and that's a part of our End the Secrecy campaign. Justice means leaving nobody behind. So we go and we do court watch, and after you watch your court case, we send you out this postcard to let you know that we out here, and you know we will help you with with your case. We're not lawyers, but we will help you to try to navigate this criminal legal system. And then the shirts that we do have for sale, you can, if you want a T-shirt, we have T-shirts. You can Cash App Life After Release $25 for one of our regular T-shirts, but this one only comes when you go to one of our trainings. So yeah, Cash App Life After Release.
Well, you know,
I like that shirt.
I was late coming to work today. Did y'all already talk about that?
What?
The court.
Yeah, the court cases, the court view.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. I was late to work. You know. Yeah. See what happens when you late to work? You miss stuff if you don't.
Yeah, we do it.
I can do it. No worries.
We're doing the only court watching program in the county, and we're also doing the participatory defense. We're the only participatory defense hub out of 33 hubs across the country. So we also running that hub as well, which we help individuals with their court cases, how to navigate the system, how to talk to your attorney. And let me just be clear, we've been able to save in our participatory defense over 12 people, 472 years, 240 days worth of prison time. And so that means these people were charged, their cases was either dropped because of us being able to advocate with them. Either their cases was dropped because they never had the evidence in the first place, or they went through the case and we were able to do court support with them. We went to court with them. We helped them with discovery. We did a social bio packet in that case. They were vindicated. The jury found them not guilty. So those are what amazing.
I'm ready that's the kind of that too. I can't wait to go to the website.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that too. I can't I love it. I can't wait.
And then also, Miss Qiana, another thing. I know she said off air, for real. Okay, for real, we're gonna finish this. Listen, do you guys take visitors to see inmates?
We would love. Look, we do it all. Like I said, we're amenable to our community. So if that's a need, that's something you can hook up with. I got the resources. I can rent the van, or I can try to buy a van. But I know I could definitely rent it on the weekends. That's the type of things and projects that I'm looking for community to help me co-sponsor, because I'm really an operational one. I barely pay myself. I'm really for the community. People. So if that's something you say, hey sis, I'm really interested in taking these kids to see the youth. Talk to me. We'll rent a van. I'll get the location. We could do that, especially like in the summer months when the kids are out of school.
Yes, I'm ready. No worries.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds
so
good.
I already know what to do now, child.
I'd like to thank you for coming on the Shee DC Morning Show and talking with us today, giving us all this great information, getting our minds going, getting our juices flowing, getting our creativity together, and just educating us on things that we don't go looking for.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it. Much love. Thank you so much.
And I look forward to talking to you real soon, John.
I know.
I'm so excited. And I just would really like to commend you for the work that you are doing. A lot of times people behind bars get forgotten about, and it's not always intentional. And I love that you are there to bridge that, to let those women know, like, hey, listen, boo, you might not have 50 people, but you still got me, and I am still one on your side. And I bet that feels amazing, especially when you don't have a whole lot of people at all. So I am so very thankful for you and for providing your services, and I look forward to doing way more things with you. And fixing our people, getting our people right, baby, for our futures.
Yes. Let's educate and make our people aware. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
And don't forget, I'm also with Black Lives Matter DC.
Can you come? Can we reschedule? I got an egg on the egg, because these people don't be trying to do that eggs, child. Can we get you on to talk about that particular topic, because that's interesting to me?
Can I bring the rest of my Black Lives Matter crew with me?
Of course.
If they with you, yes. You people, absolutely. You set it up.
It's only 5 of us, but we would love to come out and
it'll be 7 of us then on this screen then, okay? We'll have a party on this screen.
Yeah, because I don't know anything about the organization except the words. I'm not going to lie. And the words sound absolutely amazing. And I'm also one of those people that said, yes, those people are amazing for doing those things. I haven't done a damn thing for Black Lives Matter. I believe that Black lives do matter, but I'm sure it's more of me out there. Yes, I need to shake the hands of the ones that's me and shake their shoulders and say, come on, girl, come on, wake up, come on, let's make these. Don't just keep saying it. Let's actually make it matter. And
don't keep making it a hashtag. Be about it.
Yes, that's an actual. Black Lives Matter DC. We do we do a lot that folks don't really know about. We catch a lot of flack, but we also do a lot. We do cop watch. We do rapid response. We also do direct actions. We do know your rights trainings for the youth. As we talked about, the youth not knowing their rights and stuff like that. So, that's another way folks can plug in if they want to, come out and help with like a training or something like that with Black Lives Matter DC. That's also dope. So
yeah. So I'm telling people, and it's on this, so it can't be, So I would love to have you back, Miss Qiana, you and your team, because I love you too. Teams, wow, teams work good. Okay, for real, go ahead, Lena, take us out, baby.
See y'all later. Love y'all. Y'all have a good day.
All right, peace and love.